starting a stream and it's live. Hey, hi friends. I missed last week. I don't even remember what exactly happened, but I was just kind of like too busy. And I guess just to make it a bit more parasocial, yesterday I got my tooth removed. This is the tooth that I basically like. Its first problem was in like 2008 or I don't remember, but like 8 years ago, and 3 months. Yeah, no, 14 years ago and like 3 months or something like that. So I first had a problem with that tooth at that time, and I tried to I think it's called root canal in English. So I tried to do that like multiple times in like multiple clinics, and no one could could fix it. And I had recently like a problem with it again, and I actually tried to like remove it, but I was doing it in a kind of like small city in Russia, and like no one would do it. One guy, I was literally like in a seat. He like looked at the tooth and like, okay, I'm not going to do it. Today is my last day at this clinic, and I'm like going to pension, so I just don't want to mess with it. So he's like, you're not going to fire me, like I'm going away anyway. So yeah, that was like 7 years ago, I think. Yeah, so it basically like it will flare up from time to time, and usually it will go away in a few days, but this time it was kind of like in a different place, and I wanted to get rid of it anyway, so I got it out. The doctor even gave me like the parts of the tooth, so I have it somewhere. Yeah, he will show me the like I forgot how he called it, like cysts or something. There is like a tissue that kind of like grown based on infection, or I don't know. So he was kind of like impressed, I guess. Yeah, but it was still like sitting pretty well, so it took like a long time to get it out, and he had to like cut it and all of that stuff. So now I'm on antibiotics, on like some pain relief medication, because I said that I had like, when they were doing all of this stuff with tooth, I would usually have like anesthesia wouldn't work like completely, so they like decided to go 110%. So I think like I had like starting from the brow and until here, like everything was numb. I couldn't even like close my eye completely. Yeah, so it was like a procedure. Yeah, so now I have my teeth missing. You won't see it. It's basically like second from the last on top, so it's not that visible. You can't like show your mouth enough to see it, but yeah, it's a new feeling. I'm trying to get used to it, and yeah, I think that's parasocial enough. Anyway, so I tried to remember what I was going to do when I was doing my last stream. There are like few things I want to try. So one is I want to try Builder.io. So that's that's the guys who do Partytown and where is it? And mitosis, so and qwik. So I don't remember how I if I showed Partytown on stream before, but of course qwik is the like my framework that I want to write. I think about it a lot. I'm more thinking about like how I think it should look, or like how it should feel. I think like somewhere on Twitter, the idea was that it could be fun to kind of like to reinvent jQuery, so it's kind of like lighter approach and kind of like more static, I guess. So JavaScript is kind of like bonus instead of the like how in React like everything has to be in React. I mean, it wasn't invented this way. React used to be kind of like stuff that you put in places, but now it's kind of like you start from React and you you just oh yeah, there's also like one other thing I was thinking about it, but anyway, so I kind of like, I think qwik is still kind of like too much. It's too JavaScripty, if that's a word. But anyway, so I don't know if that kind of like idea that I have will work out, but I still wanna finish that project at some point, or I mean, not finish, but like a start. And mitosis. So I had a few videos about mitosis. So I tried to write like a Vue port of React library that already exists, and I was thinking, okay, this library is like not that big, so it's probably a good idea to try to use it, and it kind of failed. Yeah. Anyway, I couldn't make it work. So I want to revisit that at some point. I think they were like, I don't know any particular updates that they did, but I think they're working on it, and I just hope it's going to be better soon, and I could finish that project. Anyway, so at some point I want to try the builder itself. So I think the part that I wanted to try that's the problem with generic names. So I think the part I wanted to try is kind of like how it works with images. So I have this like Astro blog, and I looked into like how Astro deals with like optimizing images and like having images for different sizes and all, like using like avif and like webp and all of that stuff. So I wonder if there is like a way to maybe use builder for something like that. Yeah, so I think I'm not like too optimistic, so so for some reason like I don't feel like it's going to work for some reason, but anyway. So what else? I think I wanted to update on some Astro stuff. So there were two issues that was it two or yeah, so two issues that I kind of like noticed with React. So one was the like using it as subfolder or whatever. I think they fixed some of it, but not all of it. And I think I mentioned that in the last stream. But they also had some updates on this issue, which is actually like pretty good. So that's basically like fixing client-only mode. So if you're trying to work out your like kind of like React SPA, I guess create React app kind of like style SPA, and you want to put it into Astro, there was a problem with like using client-only mode because your CRA app is probably like will only work in client-only mode. It will fail on server with something. And so it was kind of like a shame that it didn't work before. I didn't really wanted to try to see if fix kind of like works. It should be okay based on just like the code. So I'm not going to try it. But that brings me to what we are actually going to do today. Is I have this like web page for our CRA app, and just to kind of like make it like more indexable to Google and all of that stuff, I want to port it to Astro, and okay, so I think at this point it looks like CRA is kind of like dead. I don't know if that's if I'm saying like something that's not supposed to be said, but it looks like CRA is kind of like, it's kind of like, how do I say it? There is like this JavaScript package that's called like immutable.js, and it started out okay. But what happened is that yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, it was written on like in Flow, and so it was like notorious for having like bad TypeScript types basically. So it was kind of like hard to use it, and like I think for like one of the apps that we used immutable.js a lot, we just had to write basically like custom wrappers against like functions that were exported by this module, but just with like right types. So instead of, I don't know, like what types do they have? I forgot. Like map. Okay, so you have a map and you wanted like map over map. So you couldn't do like map.map because that type was like garbage. and you have to like call our own kind of like map, and that one had like a right types and all of that stuff. So it was painful, and all the hopes were in a kind of like in version 4.0. I think it was in like release candidate or something like that for like years. And that one also had like a lot of issues, and basically what ended up is like they released this version 4.0.0, and that was, I don't know, so 2 years ago. Maybe I didn't even use the like released version. I probably like used one of the release candidates. But anyway, so it looks like just like Facebook kind of like gave up on this library. They use it in Draft.js. library, and I think that one is also kind of like dead. So and it's not even like one page either. So anyway, so this is like the packages that I know that Facebook is kind of like gave up on, and I just feel like CRA is kind of like in the same boat, because I think like Redux, they just have like a lot of, it was basically like created outside of Facebook, and it's still kind of like maintained outside of Facebook. So I'm not concerned with that one, but CRA, it is kind of like Facebook controlled, I guess, or where is it? Yeah, so like modern. Oh wow, I guess they just released a new version. I haven't heard about it. Oh, they released it for React 18. Okay, so maybe it doesn't really have like any. How would I say it? It's probably doesn't really have like a big changes compared to 4. That's kind of like my assumptions. Okay, Webpack 5. Breaking changes. Huh. Okay. Interesting that I missed that. Or maybe I didn't. Yeah, let's just check what what version we use. Okay, so storefront. That's the one that we use. Okay, so this one is 4.0, and I'm trying to remember if that was kind of like intentional or not. Why we skipped 5. So we use 4.0.0. Yeah, I remember looking at like 4.0 somethings, and none of those seem to be like interesting enough to upgrade. But 5 is interesting because it's like Webpack 5. And I think we had some issues with post CSS. Okay, so that's a bit against what I was talking about, but not completely. So it seems for me that like official way of creating React now is kind of like moving into Next.js. So Next.js is not like controlled by Facebook, but it's seen as kind of like more of the way to do it. I don't know why they won't promote something like Remix. Maybe because Remix is kind of like they try to make it look like React is a kind of like implementation detail. So it's more like your app is more Remix based than React based. So maybe that's why they don't really promote it. But I see that they're at least like positioning like kind of like Next.js as kind of like better, probably like alternative than CRA. But CRA used to be like the way to do it. Anyway, so that's why I kind of like tried to look into kind of like alternatives to CRA, and so I think what I tried is like Next.js, Vite, and now I'm basically like trying Astro. that's the idea of today's stream. Okay, I only spent like 20 minutes on this intro. Okay, so This is how it looks right now. So it's using React scripts and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I think I tried to write like a kind of like how to migrate. Let me try to find it. Yeah. So we will be kind of like consulting with this. How to how to migrate your app. Okay. Yeah. So far, I think Astro is kind of magic for what I was looking for, except for the part that it's like just sometimes randomly crashing. And I think I saw the same issue with vite. So I'm blaming vite, kind of like underlying technology that they use. But let's try it on a bigger app. We were able to move like to the MVC or something like that into Astro, but now let's see how it works with like a real app. So put your public index HTML into something file. Remove public from file. Right, sure. Public folders. Sure. SRC into components. Move Astro. Right. So I think what is missing is that we also need some kind of like Astro bootstrap because we need to replace like React scripts and all of that stuff. So what does our package JSON look like? So it's just Astro and Astro React and all that stuff. Yeah, and I'm actually like interested in trying to do kind of like SSR stuff, but maybe not right away. So we have a router, we have React DOM. Yeah, I haven't updated to 18 yet, and I think there's not really like a reason to, especially for something like this. But okay, so Astro. Okay, the numbers, the beta numbers keep growing, and we need Astro React. So there's that one. Yeah, a bit. Okay. So we also need like Astro Dev. So I guess I will just like dev 2 for now, just so we won't go crazy. So we need to, oh yeah, I also played a bit with PNPM, and I think I'm liking it so far. I don't know if I ever going to be like replacing all of the Yarn stuff that we have for PNPM. My biggest problem is that Yarn is so fast to type compared to PNPM. So I think I created like alias that is like just Yar or something. Yar? I forgot. Yeah. So yeah, and stuff like that. So the best part about Yarn is that you can do Yarn, I don't know, like Yarn start or something, irregardless of what is the package manager. So for me, just kind of like easier to type and all of that stuff. Okay, so let's do dev 2. Let's just see what's going to happen. Okay, something did. um, so is it like a TypeScript stuff or what's happening? Test. I don't care about test, to be honest. So okay, so let's look into what we need. So first things first, we probably need Astro config, and we need React there, but not netlify. Okay, I don't know if that will do anything. Probably not. Okay, so second part is that we need pages, and that is a bit not clear how I'm going to do it, but okay, let's do pages, and let's do some kind of index Astro. Hello. Oh yeah, I think last time it kind of like returned like random random kind of results, but let's see. Oh yeah, it returns hello twice for some reason. But I think if you add like I don't know, like HTML or something, it works fine after that. Yeah. So let's not be concerned too much with that. So I guess that's where we return to our instructions. So let's put our public index HTML into this file, and we need to replace public URL. I think we just need to remove it, right? Okay, and do we do something with failed to load? Yeah, that's our custom script that does that, and it's actually kind of like pretty reasonable that it does it right now. So move, so in that file add, right? So that's what we're going to do now. So we need to import something. So since we are in SRC right now, we need the pages SRC, we need to go up, and then we have like app tsx. I think you need app tsx for the, okay, so this one, oh yeah, service worker, that's going to be fun. Yeah, so this one calls render, and we are going to call render kind of like here. So it's going to be, I think, inside root. Yeah, so with div. Yeah. Perfect. I mean, we will see if it's perfect, but okay. So it's thinking a lot. I guess that means it's trying to compile it. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Yeah, Next.js was really slow to compile everything. Maybe that's what we're seeing here. Okay, so let's just restart for kind of like my sanity, just to check if it's too crazy. Okay, we still need to to do something with this JS stuff. Should we just rename this test? Okay, so this is a this is going to be a really short stream if it if it behaves like that. Okay. Something happened. And this should be good. Right, so I think, yeah, I think I had this sort of issue. Why would it crash there though? Okay. So can we add like a breakpoint? Okay. So who is calling you? No one. Okay, so I guess we're just crashing on like an import. Okay, so I can live with that. So global is not defined. So vite, I guess. Vite define global. Okay, so let's try that. So I think it's there. Define global. Okay, let's check with that. Do we have to restart? Yeah, I'm not sure because some like config changes are applied, some are not. So, yay. Okay, is that better? Okay. So ES build, transform failed, must be valid JSON. Will it define value? Okay, so again, I don't really understand where it's happening. That was like the issue so far. Invalid defined value. Must be JSON single. Okay, so I guess it's crashing somewhere like at compile time. So just kind of like this configuration is the problem. So define global variable person will be defined on window during def and replaced during build. Okay, I guess don't trust everything you see on the internet. You can manually add polyfill. Polyfills. So where do you put your polyfills? Okay, I don't really know, but okay, so we see that this didn't work. So now let's figure it out. So can I kind of like put it kind of like here? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, because with imports, import has to be like the first one. So I'm not sure if that will work. Uh, hmm. Okay, so I was able to do something about it before. How did I do it? Okay, so can I do it here? Unexpected, whatever. Huh. Okay. Um, Wonder if I have like a smaller page that's going to be like easier to. Okay. So okay, so here's my like crazy idea. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm importing app wrong. Should be like that, I think. Anyway, so here's my idea. I'm going to create a new file. It's going to be like app2 and so I guess I will do it like that. So I don't know, just like hello world, and I don't like default exports, so I can return it with this. Okay. Okay, so cannot destruct property client. Huh. Yeah, maybe they did have a problem with that fix. So client only. Okay, so without client. Hello world. Okay. Now if I do client idle, no, it also doesn't work. Uh, okay. This is a bit concerning. Uh, yeah, let's add a checkpoint. Not checkpoint. How's it? Breakpoint. So, oh yeah. Okay. So hydrate root inner HTML. It doesn't pass client here because it's idle. All right. I mean, Yeah, that was my yep. Yeah, that was my uh, experience so far with with Astro. That uh, it has a lot of bugs. I mean, it's better for now, so I hope it's not going to stay in this state all the time. Huh. By the way, he's using 28 and I'm using 27. Am I using? Ernock Astro 27. Yeah, I'm using a 27. Should I just downgrade to the version that worked? Or is it React even solid? Why would it break in view and solid though? That part doesn't make sense for me. Okay. But only doesn't work in some renders. Oh wow. I guess it's a long-standing issue then. Okay. Okay. So what do we do? Okay, I'm proposing we do nothing, but in the following way. So we will just go to like Astro. So whatever this file was called. So Astro.js React. Astro.js. React client v17, and then we will just remove this part and we will just add it through here, and that's going to be our grand solution for this thing. Of course, I would have to remember to redo it every time, but that's fine for now. Render will stop working, sure. Okay. Oh. Okay, I was going for this file. So calling render to hydrate. So it's client only. So why are we talking about hydrating it? Idle. If I said idle, it's the same error. Okay. So let's. Okay. I guess it was fixed by itself. Okay, so our hello world. So now we're trying to do the following. We are trying to import app2, but we are going to do it kind of like that. Const app original. We're going to use require, and that one should be like enough to crash. It requires not defined. Wow, that's interesting. That's kind of new. Requires not defined when importing. Pretty sure we have a lot of requires. Okay, maybe not that much. Have passetto. Oh no, that's just text. Yes, it's just like images. Okay, so can disable require. Yeah, I was thinking about doing like window stuff in the script tag, but you can try this plugin, Vite plugin, common.js. Will they explain what it does? I guess not. Okay, so that's unfortunate. Okay, so let's actually do that script stuff. So if we have a script tag where we can do window global equals window, I guess that's what we're going for. I don't know why this highlighting is busted, but so now global. Yeah, but like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Browser already has a global. Okay, so anyway, so let's import regional app from app. Okay, I guess it's tree shaken now. Okay, now it's not tree shaken, but okay, it complains about process now. So I think if we are going to remove client, it'll complain about global, but on the server document. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, process is not defined. What if we do the same thing for process? Like empty array. Process is not defined. I have a typo in process. But process still is not defined. Yeah, that's the part that I'm trying to figure out is how do I do all of that stuff before the import. I think I had some workaround before, but I don't remember anything about it. Okay, so you can use meta instead. Sure, I can. Okay, so they're trying to do it with config again. So I wonder if it will work. Define, no, vite, define, yep. So process and as a object. What's the problem? Okay, one more. Okay, so now process is not defined. When we restart it, yeah, so it's crashing. The error doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know what's kind of like happening behind the scenes. Okay, so that's interesting. Process and okay, so it was JSON. Will that work with this stuff then? So if I set it as global and like empty object. Yeah, the problem with empty object is that I probably want it to be window. Yeah, so now global is empty object. Can I do something like that? I mean, it's probably okay. That doesn't mean it's not JSON, but probably like just raw. Can I do console log 1, 2, 3? This is like a interesting API. Yeah, it did work. Wow, this is crazy. So for each define, yeah, this is TypeScript. So it's like source instead of the must be valid JSON on single identifier. Okay, how do you know that should be? Okay, this is crazy. So target is context and segments defines. Okay, so don't really understand how it works. Oh, if type of context global this then define. Let's say defines. Okay, so let's try it here again. So define since import meta and site. Context is window. Define is in step, and this one is step over the next one. Okay, so defines is global undefined process and empty. Okay, so global isn't defined now because I wrote console log, which somehow still worked. Okay, so restarting. So global is still undefined. Target is undefined. Segments is import stuff. Okay, this is a bit silly. So global is still undefined. Target on next. Okay, so key is global now. This is process env. Okay, so still don't really understand where it's all happening, but guess I don't really care that much. Maybe I haven't refreshed it enough times because it still shows 1, 2, 3 instead of window. But anyway, so I'm sure it's there somewhere. Or maybe I should do like Astro build and like look at the real output. Anyway, so we have that. We know that tree shaking works. So we don't really need app 2, I think, anymore. Yep. A lot of it worked, but not all of it. So let's try to figure out what is happening. Agent must be installed. Attributes, DevTools. Okay. So what is happening is that our index file was importing all of that kind of like stuff, and I think now we should try to import index instead of app, and we'll do that maybe this way. We will import we'll just import index for all the like for all the stuff that it does. And okay, so an expected token and such. So what is going to happen if we do process env def? something like that. I think there's like a plugin for vite that does like the conversion between dev is not defined. Yeah, right, because it's JSON. So development. So okay, I need to restart it. Yeah, it would be really cool if it just works at some point. Okay, so document is not defined. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. And it's bad for a bad reason. Yeah, because it tries to do it SSR and it will never work like SSR. That's why we have client only. That was the idea. How could we deal with that? So let's try to figure out where it's crashing. Yeah, so it's crashing in the index. Maybe if you remove this from here. Oops. What's happening? Okay, so I kind of lost the plot. I don't know what's happening anymore. Okay, so maybe index. Maybe index was a bad idea. Let's try to kind of like do it one by one. So first thing that we need is like track.js. Okay. Still complains that track.js must be installed. So config. How do we get to config? Mm-hmm. So it does import from track.js. So what if I just so what if I just import from track.js? And here we'll just do like console log track.js. Nothing. Just Okay, don't you run it on server. Okay. This actually makes some sense. Right. So that's the problem. I forgot that this part is what is getting run on the server. So that's why I can't do all of that stuff. Okay, so it has to be inside the app stuff. So let's do our app2 thing, and let's move all of that stuff there. So we need to comment. Where was it? Yep. So we're doing app2, and we are going to do track.js here. Okay, so it's no longer there, it's there. Okay, so, and this one is not running on the server anymore. Yeah, because we were importing it basically in different order. Okay, so this is actually good. This is actually really good, except that I don't really know how to describe that anymore. Okay, so we will figure it out. So our track.js should work now. So what is next? Oh yeah. So we need to run the original app. Yep. So now we need to import styles. That's our Tailwind stuff. Does it look like it working? Oh yeah, I crashed this one, I guess. Why would I crash it? Oh right, because the index JSX, that's for the old page. I guess because we're installing new packages, we probably like updated some of them, and that's why it kind of like lost track. But other than that, I would assume it works. Restarting, but yeah, it looks like it works. So do we see the difference? Wow. Considering that we only spent like an hour on starting all of this, this is like surprisingly this went surprisingly easy. I was expecting way more issues, but we shall have them. I know how to get to the issues. Okay, so let's look at network tab. I wonder where everything is kind of. Oh yeah, so it's not production build, so we don't really don't really know where everything is going to be. But I'm more concerned with like all of the like CSS stuff and images and things. So assets. Right. So I wonder how that works. Okay, but it works for now. Okay, so let's do something that doesn't work. So why doesn't it work? So first of all, we probably need to do where is it? Like our Astro stuff. So if we rename it like that, get static paths. Right. That's where we need SSR. Okay. Let's do SSR then. So we need this. And we also need to install it. Okay, so I'm like frantically trying to figure out if I'm missing something. Route cache overridden. Okay, I don't know what exactly it means. Yay, our first our first required issue. So this is actually like crashing in React. Okay. Yeah, so we're trying to render login form. Which is one of them. Okay, this one. And 162. Right, so that's all the assets. So how did it work on the landing page? Because we're importing assets like that. And this way it worked. So let's do this logo. So it's import logo from such and such. Okay, so it should be like on the next line now. Yep. So the other is, let's say, 500. Hey. Okay, so I see the fonts are a bit different. So what exactly that mean? So here is SFNS. What I was clicking on, the login button. And here we see Open Sans. Okay, so maybe, right, so I'm remembering something of I think like import CSS stuff works differently in Vite. That could be what is happening. I wonder why it wasn't like that on a different page, but so let's just add it to kind of like to add a font on login screen, Open Sans. Okay, and okay, so now let's click on something. Okay, so login with Google will not work. Will this one work? Okay, I need to trying to remember my passwords. So j@fagblender.com. This. Okay. So it's probably still the problem is that I'm not using the right port. I can probably just what are the here can just add a port for now. Let's see if that helps. You have to restart it. Hey. Oh yeah, I think it worked. Okay, so now it's require in admin. It's the same logo stuff, so let's just copy it, I guess. So oh wow, it did work. There's some issues with CSS. Routing is working. Huh. I wasn't expecting that. That's really cool. Okay. So I'm still trying to figure out what is happening with styles. Because almost everything works, but something doesn't. Oh yeah, I think. Okay, so let's just go through it. So here's our index tsx file, and here's our right. So we also have this. We have shared styles from some module. Okay, so now it's working, but is everything working or not? Okay, so it's prompt now. This one is open sans. Yeah, even fonts are working now. That's crazy. If you would, yeah. This is really. This is, yeah. This went much smoother than I expected. Okay, so let's figure out how the wonder why it's not selecting this one by default. Oh well. So let's try to see how kind of like hot module reloading and stuff like that works. So we're looking for npm install FogBender, and I don't know. Yeah, so that's kind of destructive. Is that because we was not found? Okay, so there are some issues, but I actually have to check if if maybe those are the same issues. Okay, so far it looks identical. So does it show identical problems? So we need to go here and here. Here and here. So this is the old version. In it, no, that's the issue. This one I think is. So tab styles, and the other was for like something. Yeah, styles. Okay. So yeah, I think it looks okay. So the problem is that if I update something here, yep, it just kind of like replaces it in place. But if I update something here, it causes whole page to reload, which is not great. So what else? So if I'm kind of here, if I open like something like this, like internal conversation. If I update like a shared package, what's going to happen? Yeah, full page reload again. Yeah, that's not great. And do you have any way to improve this? So I couldn't make Next.js work like good enough for me even to test any of this stuff. So I don't know if that one was bad or not. Yeah, but this is a bit yeah. And if I have like some kind of like internal state, if I open this, how do I get here? And this, like here, and I'm trying to like update room settings. I want to say that it's room settings 2. Yeah, because it's in like a dependency module, it has to compile it first. Okay, it crashed somewhere. This one is updated, but I lost the state. Okay, that one is refreshed. This one is doing something, but okay. So it kind of like ignores what's happening here. Okay, do we have like ad integration? That one is also interesting to check. Ad integration 2. Is it stuck or what's happening? Outdated. Okay, so 3. Did I break quite much? No. It worked. Yeah. So that's kind of like the thing that I'm looking for. If I'm doing it here, if updated to 5, I will lose all of that state. That's a bit disappointing. And is there any ways to fix it? Is there any ways to fix it? Because probably as far as the Astro concerned, as there is no way to do that without like reloading everything. That's why it tries to reload everything. So Astro React HMR. I'm trying to figure out who is wrong here. Okay, Ben Holmes. I think that's the author of Astro. Slinkity. 11G. Oh yeah, maybe that's the author of Slinkity. I've watched all of those videos at the same time, so I don't remember. I guess maybe the solution that Astro folk would say is like, yeah, just push more stuff into Astro and leave less in React. That's how you do it. That's unfortunate. But I don't see other way to kind of like to test any of this stuff without doing all the work. Okay, so just to be clear, so when I update it, I guess it has to destroy the huh. Okay, so what kind of like yeah, because I think with Vite I didn't see this problem because I was trying to run it in a more of a SPA configuration. So now it's in a server-side rendering and such configuration. Which mean, of course, I still need to try to run it on like a real Netlify instance and see if it's going to work or not. Like all the SSR stuff. I mean, we don't use SSR. It's just like it's client only stuff, but still. So what does Astro claim, I guess, about HMR? Bring it from. I'm trying to figure out how to build kind of like simpler version of this, just to see how I can play with HMR, but oh, it's getting late. Configuration guide, try Astro, extent. What do they say about HMR? Module reloading assessment. What did it say about developer experience? Astro is code extension and such. Migration to vite. I think they haven't wrote it yet. Astro. Yeah, maybe I need to find like a bigger Astro project and just try to play with it, just to see how they deal with this stuff, because I don't know what to compare it with. That's basically like the only thing that I know is like CRA and this that I got, but I don't know if that's the way it should be written. Right, so I think one thing I should try. I just want to see how bad it's going to be if I try to server-side render. I know that it's not going to work, but I'm curious what's the way it's not going to work in. I guess I should have committed all the stuff that they did. So just renamed Astro. So that one I should probably like move move upstream anyway, and here, right? So here is just me testing. This is core stuff. So so we need this to make Astro work. Okay, so but I need to return the only to So it actually works. Works with client only. Okay, so I think that's the idea. And now we do idle, and it doesn't work anymore. So I was about to say that I like how fast Astro starts, but so atoms with so where do they check for document? I don't see. Document is not defined. I mean, local storage could be not defined, or what are we talking about? I mean, everything is inside try catch. So can we? I think we should pause on the exception. That's the idea. So browser is not defined. So who is Grammarly? Okay. Don't really care about Grammarly. Mm. Mm. Okay, so it's crashing on the server, so of course all of my catching is that exceptions is not going to work. Okay, so will that work? I don't have any experience with server-side rendered framework, so I don't even know how to debug it. Okay, so I see this 1, 2, 3 here. We'll see it again if I refresh it. No. So will I see it here? Also no. Oh yeah, maybe it takes some time to compile it. Hmm. All right, it's probably this one. So we're waiting for module to be compiled. Then we can refresh it. Yep. So 1, 2, 3. So it means that it works here. Okay. So this one we are checking, and I never worked with Jedi in this configuration. So let's see. So I wonder if so like 88. So I wonder if it. How do I check where it crashes? That's fine. Console. Okay, compiling. Wow. So refreshing. Okay. So it was able to create atoms, but it probably tries to do something with them, which doesn't work. So first thing is probably supports. And then we want to try to see if this works. Then if this works, we want to see if this or this works. But again, it's like if supports. How are we even sure that that's the file that it crashes? Because it's all of those kind of lines it just okay. Error when evaluating SSR. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 false. Where was it? So it doesn't support. Then it does 50 and 88, but it doesn't do. Okay, so there should be a simpler explanation. So what I can do is that I can probably just remove everything. So let's just return initial value. Then let's just remove everything and just return a base atom. So basically like just ignoring the whole thing basically. Okay, compiling. So now this function just passes through whatever the thing was. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, so here's what where I just consider vite harmful is that okay, there is a document somewhere and it's not defined, but how do I even know where or why? So I'm using Astro for our blog now, and that's where I have getting like the similar issues of where if I do some changes, it will just start crashing, and there is no way for me to know what crashed. I can just only kind of like fall back on the older version and just hope that I understand what what broke it. Anyway, yeah, so we use document a lot, but how do I know which one of them has crashed it? I think the last thing that I didn't try is Astro build. And if you're using server-side rendering, why would it? Okay. Well, just to be sure, let's do the same for the other one. Double signal key. Let's return base atom. Because if you fixed one but the other is used somewhere, it just probably crashes with the same issue, same error. But yeah, yeah, I think that's kind of it. I can try probably this. So it's happening in client share. If you think that there is like index.modern.js, I guess, and just to check if they have this line. Okay. I need to open it. VS Code probably. Yeah, so now if I 198.97.198.97. Yeah, document. That's it. Yeah, so it had nothing to do with that local storage file, but it's as far as I know. So how did I get the idea that this is the file that I need to check? Yeah, because it was talking about this file and this kind of like line number. Okay, so that's how I got to it. So here I have all kinds of document, create style and all of that stuff. So nonce, style target, parameters invalid. Yeah, I don't really even know what module does that. So it's using React. Emoji. Style, media. Yeah, so I guess it's some kind of like third-party library that works with styles, and those styles can't be created on the server. So I guess if I find, oh no, it's not name, it's like grep. Yeah, but again, it's, I guess for next stream I could try to update to CRA 5 and see how it's going there. But yeah, my hope for finding a better kind of like build tool is not going great. Okay, so now we know it's emoji picker React, but we don't know where to kind of like turn it off. So using it here, using it here. Now, okay, so let's imagine I'm turning it off here. So I have to turn it off here. And now I'm turning it off here. And I'm turning it off here. What will happen if I do build again? Okay, so it's crashing some different stuff, but it's still that file. So where is it? Okay, so 9903. Okay. So it's somewhat manageable. So I can like try to figure out the lines and stuff. So document is not available. So then again, how do I know what module is that? Sizing that data. I guess one other way is just to search for document, just to see how often the document is. Yeah, so it's 300 times. It's so so there is a great chance that I will never make it work. A lot of this is probably hidden in some kind of like use effect or something that will prevent it from running on server, but you'll never know. Yeah. Okay, so where is the one that is crashing right now? How do I know which package is that? Have to again go grab. Not modules, and just hope for the best. Disappointed. Okay, so React text area after resize. Right. So if that was a real app, how would I do it? I would have to hide it on the server, or I guess just show some kind of like empty text area if I'm doing server stuff. How do I even check for the server? Okay, so now the problem is that at what point this all of this stuff is called? Is it during import of the package? Then I basically have to make sure that it's not imported, which is usually hard to ensure. I guess I will do this exercise for a little bit. Yeah, so my problem now is that this problem doesn't compile here. And because it doesn't compile, I can check that it works. Okay, where is it? 130. So console log set focus. Now you also need this. Okay, so compiled. I mean, there's some kind of progress. So what's the first line? Windows not defined. on line 30. I mean, it's most of the file. 3077. It's over here. 775. Okay, React draggable. So where do we get React draggable from? Grid layout? Oh yeah. That one I don't really know how to remove. So again, when does it happen? When is this thing is called? Render component inbound. Main module. So what's the create module? So it's that module creation again, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Anyway, I think I have to. I think I have to stop on this disappointing step. If it fails on the module import, I really don't know how to deal with that properly or at all. So if anyone knows what I should kind of like look into, please let me know. I think for this app, just because it wasn't created to be running on server, I doubt there's a there's a good way to handle it. I mean, I can probably hide it somehow behind some kind of like use effect or whatever they recommend for Next.js, but I'm not sure if that will help with errors on like import, where the import is crashing. So I don't really know, because it's kind of like too to be given app to easily figure out how to do it. And I was disappointed with how hot module reload works. I don't know how to, what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to deal with that. And the bigger problem is that I don't know how to ask someone how to deal with that. So I'm properly confused. Anyway, that's a bit unfortunate. I'm glad that they did it eventually. I was going to try Astro for like the longest time, and finally I have something. Okay, so right. So I think I said that I still have CRA 5, but yeah, I'm not too excited. I mean, I'll probably, yeah, for this project I probably need to update it to like Tailwind 3, CRA 5. What's the other big one? I think React Router, we're still using like beta release, so there are like some, or yeah, React 18, of course. So we have to get stuff updated, but my bigger problem was with having some kind of like more modern build tool, build not really a tool, but like build. Maybe it's not even build framework. Yeah. So to use some kind of like modern framework, but maybe it's kind of like too late for this app. Yeah. So this is monorepo. So I have like a few. A few websites that I can try to port to Astro. I'm more interested in this one because it's kind of like more involved, and I'm actually think what I should try. Okay, so let's just stash all of this. So in terms of client only, I'm interested in how it's kind of like building everything, because Create React app, I was disappointed with kind of like code splitting, because it will kind of like bundle too much stuff and would create like a, yeah, kind of like two, what I'm trying to say. I was trying to use kind of like split modules, so to have like multiple kind of like entry points, so they basically like to make each page smaller, but it wasn't working for me. Okay, so yeah, I think I saw that issue before with it. Uh, I should have ended the stream like 15 minutes ago, but keeping myself. Okay, so let's copy some of this and just read. Okay, so when working, make a few modifications. Following script into bottom of the resolved objects inside. Okay, so this sounds like it could work. I know that I had this issue, but I never was able to dig deep enough to figure out how to solve it. Yeah. Fix importing. So it's open pull request for the package, for Amazon package. That. Oh, I guess they added like a vite example to check that it works. Right, so this poor soul fixed it in like a year ago. Being able to import vite project, additional context. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. You just solve it. Solved. Related. Yeah. So let's try this out. I'm a bit skeptical for solves like this because it seems like it's not going to matter in terms of the server. Yeah, this is too much. Yeah. All the script stuff is not going to do anything. I think it try script, but then improve the. Okay, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, it is a problem. I have the same. I had the same issue when I was trying to use vite itself without Astro. So, so we know that it doesn't work, and right. Anyway, so anyone who thinks that vite is like a solution to every problem brings its own, and I think that's like the one more stream to show that it's not as easy. Okay, so what do I do now? I think that's it. I think I need to go to sleep. It's like it's getting too long, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's probably the last stream I will do for this. Yes, it only we could only make it work with client only, and if your app is not kind of like as involved as mine, maybe you can easily switch to the server-side stuff. All the workarounds that I have in mind, they are probably not as interesting to show. So let's think of it as kind of like closed deal. as you can do it mostly, probably, and it will work probably. Not in all configurations, but yeah, I was actually like, for the stuff that worked, I was actually thinking that it will be harder, but for the stuff that didn't work, I kind of like knew that it wouldn't. So yeah, I think that's it. So bye bye, and I still don't know how to end stream properly, so let's just hope that it works.